Swallowed star. Absolute beginning region. Thick mist shrouded the entire space. A huge ice planet had many broken star fragments orbiting about it, and Luo Feng's quarters was one of them. Who knows? Anyway, he has large amounts of wealth, he can buy anything he wants. A few universe soldiers stood guard about the villa and chatted while patrolling. Yes. The guards all immediately stopped talking. Humph, only then did that captain turn and continue with his instructions. You all, place those huge boxes over there, right? These large boxes should be put here. They are very important, be careful and lift them gently. Within the entire villa. Many boxes filled with different items were actually being arranged, taking up close to over 10 kilometers of area. The nutrition cabin was placed within Luo Feng's study. Within these 3 months, Luo Feng had been bathing within it all the time. My body is currently at universe level 9, and my spirit reading is at universe level 9 as well. Luo Feng flexed and exerted some strength. The solid muscles of his flexed with energy, causing the space around to tremor and explode. How weird. This nutrition cabin. Luo Feng turned to look at it. Within it was still a lot of the valuable liquid that he hadn't finished. In about 3 short months, I rose straight to universe level 9, essentially from the point of evolving to reaching a point of feeling full and completely satisfied. Luo Feng's body strength had already reached saturation, unable to increase anymore. As Luo Feng walked out from his building, the waiters and guards who were busy with their work in the villa were all shocked. Your Majesty! Your Majesty! Everybody bowed respectfully. Your Majesty! Sector Lord Ao Duo also became a beam of light and flew over, bowing respectfully. Luo Feng looked at the large amount of shipments and laughed. So many goods these past few days, Ao Duo, sorry to trouble you. No problem. Ao Duo replied. Have all the goods arrived? Luo Feng asked. Your Majesty's orders have all arrived, everything is here. Ao Duo replied respectfully. Luo Feng nodded and his eyes gleamed as he saw the large amount goods that took up over 10 kilometers. The goods that he spent 860 mixed elements on were all here. As he knew the points were extremely valuable, he tried not to use the points as much as possible. With these. Visit novel bin, see them for updates. Training deities of the world had extremely high requirements, the weaker one was the easier it was to train. The first level of deities of the world was completed by Luo Feng in Primal Chaos City. This was because the golden horned beast was weaker back then. That and because Luo Feng was able to purchase many valuable materials to complete it. Many golden horned beasts only completed the first level throughout their entire lives. The second level required extremely rare materials. However, it was a pity that he was not able to afford some of the materials. This time, he spent 860 mixed elements, of which over 830 of them were used for the training materials for the second level, and this was still only the cheaper portion of the training. The effects of deities of the world are intrepid, however the requirements are too harsh. The second level requires the Ken Luo Sea's feathers, that alone requires 12 million. As for some items, they might as well not be in the treasure trove. Luo Feng thought, it was no wonder this technique was so hard to train. The cost for the second level to complete was extremely huge. At least. Phew. Luo Feng raised his hand and had Babata keep all the items in his storage space. The many items required at least 10 kilometers in space. However, in truth it didn't take up that much space, at least with Luo Feng's current status, buying a larger space ring was easy. Second day. Luo Feng wore black armor and boots, and carried a 6-edged shield and a blood shadow blade. These were all custom-made for his mission on Blood River World. As the cloud contact vine and quantum computer on his arm didn't fit the regulations of the world, he passed them to the Masha clan body to wear. Damn, I've been with your teacher through so many life or death situations, relax. Babata said. Luo Feng stood in the villa and looked at the skies engulfed in mist. Rumble, a universe ship descended from the distance on Luo Feng's star fragment. Your Majesty, be careful on your mission. Ao Duo advised respectfully. Luo Feng nodded, becoming a beam of light and flying over. Good luck, Your Majesty. Dark Universe, this fish-shaped universe ship was swiftly progressing. Your Majesty, we are heading to Blood River World. Our speed has already reached 36 times light speed, will arrive in about 19 hours. A purple short-haired, beautiful-looking lady with a furry tail who appeared very serious explained to Luo Feng. After 19 hours, I'll inform Your Majesty. Until then, you can rest. Thanks. Luo Feng nodded. Even so. Amongst the 7 blades, his most proficient was still the Dutchman's pipe. Maybe it was because the Masha clan was proficient in assassination, or the fact that long periods of time spent on this training move had made his comprehension of it the deepest. Hence, even Luo Feng's earth bodies too was the most proficient in the Dutchman's pipe. As he was recapping the blade work and movement, 19 hours passed quickly. External simulation. The lady ordered. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed as the surrounding scenery morphed and revealed the external world's virtual simulation. So beautiful. Luo Feng was shocked. What appeared before him was the external world, which was covered in mist. It also contained all kinds of space debris, making it even more mysterious. However, in the distance was an incredibly beautiful palace that was floating in space itself. Heaven Erosion Palace, Watchtower. Luo Feng was shocked. Right. The lady nodded. The moment anyone flies out from Blood River World, they'll be discovered. If it's our people, they will naturally be safely taken in. If it's an aboriginal from Blood River World, naturally they won't fare too well. I'll send you there right away. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. Hua. The cabin door opened and Luo Feng, who was dressed in a completely black armor and boots while carrying a shield and blade, flew out of the ship into space. Ship exterior simulation, simulate a normal meteorite fragment. Luo Feng entered the silver pyramid and ordered. Yes, master. Standing in the control room, Luo Feng looked ahead. In the distance was an incredibly vast continent floating in space. It was completely shrouded in clouds and the atmosphere. This was Blood River World. Another 3 hours before entering the outer atmosphere. Luo Feng nodded. Blood River World had welcomed another outsider. Blood River World was a place where the strong are like the clouds, and it even had undyings. Luo Feng looked at the world closing in. I have to be extremely prudent and definitely not reveal my identity. However, it's strange. This isn't up to me to bother about. Luo Feng shook his head. 3 hours later. The automaton ship with an appearance of that of a normal meteorite finally entered the atmosphere of Blood River World. I cannot proceed further. With a thought, he flew out of the ship's cabin door and had Babata keep the ship in his storage space. Blood River World, there are a total of 18 cloud layers. While looking at the mission's introduction, it had a general introduction of the entire world. Blood River World's atmosphere had a total of 18 cloud layers. The higher one headed, the greater the pressure would be. Only universe levels could use their bodies to pass through all 18 layers. I don't have to worry in space outside the cloud layers. What strong gravity! With such strong gravity, only star levels would be able to fly in this. Luo Feng calculated within. The magnetic field within a star traveler's body cannot combat this strong gravity pull at all. So. Before him, the scenery of Blood River World finally unfolded. Hua! Luo Feng couldn't help but exclaim with shock. Right below him was an endless vast mountain range and forest. With his gaze, he was able to determine that this ancient forest had an area of at least 10,000 kilometers. At its edges one could see little silhouettes, those were the cities. The ancient forest and mountain range welcomed a guest from the heavens. What terrifying gravity! For the normal people of Blood River World, to be able to withstand this pressure means that they should at least be at Star Traveler level. Luo Feng stood there and calculated in his head. The air here is produced by the universe energies, hence the air has shocking strengthening effects on the body. No wonder this Blood River World has so many strong warriors. However, the rotting smell and stench of this ancient forest is hard to bear. At this time, Sila. A piercing sound seemed to pierce through Luo Feng's ears. Simultaneously, a 60 m long jade-green snake person became a blur of light and appeared beside Luo Feng immediately. That mouth opened wide fiercely and a 3 to 4 m diameter black hole opened, attempting to swallow Luo Feng. Luo Feng turned, with his eyes like a blade, he looked at the ferocious snake person creature. This creature was as tall as at least a 20-story building. Luo Feng was nothing but a dot compared to it. However, when Luo Feng looked over, that snake person's expression turned to that of shock and fear. Humph! Luo Feng snorted coldly. Rumble! These are what the aboriginals of Blood River World call the wild beasts. This is nothing but a beast with a power level around star level 5 or 6. Luo Feng thought. It must have been suicidal to look for me. Luo Feng had purely used his consciousness strength to pressure it, in an instant crushing it and causing it to faint immediately. Luo Feng's consciousness was extremely strong, as it was comparable to that of a Pinus domain lord. A random wild beast already has star level 5 or 6 strength. Living in a secret region, really must be blessed by heaven. Luo Feng looked in the distance. I first have to leave the forest and head to the nearest city. Only once I head to a city will I be able to quickly look for the Blood River Crystal. Blood River Crystal, it was a special treasure product of this world. So. Luo Feng left a blurry image and immediately vanished into the distance. At the edge of the mountain range forest, a team was heading forward. Thunder Uncle, with you around, what's there to worry about? Within the team, a youth dressed in silver armor, with a purple engraving on his forehead, laughed happily and said. This youth casually carried a black bow, and on his back was a quiver with arrows. Manga Beast. The expressions of the guards within the team became serious, however they were still relaxed. Against these wild beasts they couldn't be careless. This was a saying passed from long ago in Blood River World. However, no matter how powerful, these guards were still clear about one thing: as long as their team was careful, killing these beasts was easy. Manga Beast. Leave it to me. The youth was very excited. Young master. Thunder Uncle frowned. No problem. The youth had already drawn an arrow from the quiver. He lifted his bow, and got ready to fire. The team approached carefully. After a while. And the skinny youth sitting by the river seemed to detect something. He turned his head to look at the dim-witted huge gray silhouette. Looking for death. At least, not sitting idly by. Manga Beast is a sky-level wild beast. Thunder Uncle roared. Shio. So. The moment it landed, it let out cries of pain and angrily rushed towards the team. Shio. That silver youth's expression grew serious. The purple engraving on his forehead slightly glowed with light. His hand was like a phantom, as it swiftly drew another arrow and fired. However, the mango beast, which was prepared this time, twisted its body and waved its sharp claw, knocking that black light away. Roar! That strong and sturdy man brandished 2 axes from his waist and his arms fiercely crossed. Rumble! Pa! The mango beast immediately fell from mid-air, splitting in 2 halves as fresh blood flowed from its organs. Thunder Uncle sure is powerful, too powerful. The silver-armored youth clapped excitedly. Don't get careless in the future. The mango beast has 2 trump cards. One is its claws, and the other is its poison breath. This mango beast has already reached sky level. If it gets close and releases its gas, that would be troublesome. The strong and sturdy man lectured, simultaneously instructing his guards to extract the materials and essence of the beast. Yes. The other guards immediately laughed happily and went to gather. Thanks. Luo Feng looked at the silver-armored youth, smiling and nodding. That mango beast before only had a power of star level 1 or 2. Its sneak attack was long discovered by Luo Feng, and he was preparing to turn and destroy it. But who knew that the passionate silver-armored youth would attempt to save him? However, even though the people of Blood River World worshipped strength, they still had these innocent youths. Looking at this excited silver-armored youth before him, Luo Feng felt a great sense of anticipation towards Blood River World. After a while, Luo Feng left the ancient forest with this team. No trouble at all. I guess I've trained enough, we can return. We'll go together, it'll be safer that way. The silver-armored youth was very excited as he thought about it. This black-armored skinny youth before him was obviously one with less experience, and if he went out to explore by himself he might die. Since he was returning to home, they might as well bring him along. The feeling of saving someone feels good. The silver-armored youth thought. Ah, I haven't introduced myself. I'm Na Ku, and you? The silver-armored youth smiled and looked at Luo Feng. I'm called Feng. Luo Feng replied. Feng. The silver-armored youth nodded, exclaiming, good name. Big Brother Feng is obviously older, I'll call you Big Brother then. When we return to our Swallow Mound city, if you have time, I'll show you around. I grew up in the city after all. Swallow Mound? Luo Feng smiled and nodded. According to the information. And the cities of Blood River World were mainly separated into territorial cities or world cities. The territorial city was the core of a territory. Every leader of these territories were definitely a domain level, domain lord. The world cities were the core of the world, and the leaders of these were definitely sector lords. In the vast Blood River World. It looks like, the place that I descended belongs to the Swallow Mound territory. Luo Feng thought within, Swallow Mound territorial city should be a core city within the surrounding 10 million kilometers, and the city leader is most probably a domain lord warrior. I require Blood River crystals. Through enchantment and several techniques, he could interrogate others. However, asking them wouldn't be as detailed as reading the books. A territorial city with an area of 10 million km would definitely be advanced and would have what he needed. In advanced places, currency is definitely important. The materials I got from hunting the beasts should be worth quite a bit. Luo Feng long had a plan of what he needed to do. He was an outsider after all. His identity had to be kept secret. Since he had just entered Blood River World, it was better to remain low profile. There wasn't a single universe level. The silver-armored youth chatted with Luo Feng, as the tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle and the other guards all stared at them. This dumb little punk must be extremely lucky to have our group of brothers protect him. The young master is too kind. If it were me, I couldn't be bothered. The guards chatted behind. Shut up. The tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle ordered. The group of guards immediately stopped. Be careful, even though we are already on the way back, there's still thousands of km to go. There's usually bandits about. Captain, with you around, which small bandit would dare approach us? Yeah, that will be suicide. The master spoils the young master too much. He wants to wait till the young master matures before letting him taste some hardship. The tall and sturdy man shook his head. As they maintained their speed at 1,000 km per hour, to the ground-level fighters, it was very relaxing. Look, ahead it's our Swallow Mound territorial city. We are only about 1 hour away from it. The silver-armored youth gazed ahead at the large blurred silhouette of the city. He spoke with the native tongue and dialect. Although Luo Feng too used the same dialect, the accent however was not as precise. Rumble. Tamed beasts? Luo Feng could recognize in one glance some of the beasts were similar to those he had hunted in the forest before. Let's make way. The tall and sturdy man communicated to the others. Immediately the team headed to the side of the road. Huh, isn't this young Master Naku? An ear-piercing laugh resounded like a tornado about. The large team that rushed over suddenly stopped and simultaneously tens of them flew over to where Luo Feng's team was. In the blink of an eye, these fighters had already reached before them. The leader of this team was a tall and handsome youth. He was riding what seemed like a tiger dressed fully in armor, however it was at least 10 m long. The leader was looking at Na Ku, his face proud and satisfied. Yu Fang. The silver-armored youth's expression changed. TSK, is the genius archer afraid? The tall and handsome youth's expression slowly turned cold. With a snort, you didn't expect me to catch you outside the city, right? Young Master Yu Fang. I'm speaking right now, did I say it was your place to speak? The tall and handsome youth angrily roared and his expression pained. Get lost. Yu Fang, you shut up. The silver-armored youth roared. Beside them, Luo Feng frowned. The enemy's party was obviously superior. The large group behind this Yu Fang was made up of just the 10 underlings alone. There was 1-star level 9 and 9-star level 7 or 8s. And this side? Naku's strongest warrior, that Thunder Uncle, was only a star level 6 or 7. Captain, what do we do? Captain, behind that young Master Yu, there's that, dripping blood blade, warrior, who is one of their 3 strongest in the family. He's a sky-level pinnacle warrior. Just him alone would be enough to decimate us. The team was flustered. The silver-armored youth's eyes contracted. He stared angrily at the young master on the beast and roared, Yu Fang, whatever you have, just bring it at me. Yes. The group of warriors on the beasts replied together. Hua. The tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle along with the other guards all brandished their weapons together. Immediately the group of intrepid warriors flew from the backs of the beasts and headed towards Naku's little team.